this box over here, I have the flight test tutor. This is a radio control aircraft you build out of foam board using a hot glue gun with no special tools. It's intended to make the hobby of flying radio control aircraft more affordable for young people. If you keep watching this video, you'll see I've got a little interview with Johan de Waal. He is Flite Test South Africa.
I'm actually an engineer by trade, an electronic engineer by trade, and so I've got a very deep passion for aviation. I stumbled across Flite Test in the US on their YouTube channel, and I started following these guys, and I was really intrigued in terms of the way that they went about to get and to make aviation more accessible to a lot more people. The way that they did it is to use household type of materials and build very creative airplanes from household materials and household tools, and you were able to get into the air with not a lot of skill needed. Very easy building materials and very easy step-by-step guides on how to build these things, and through the process they were able to break down the barriers of high cost of entry into the hobby. Did a lot of research locally in South Africa to find the right foam board to do the job. Unfortunately, I couldn't get the right materials locally, and then I reached out to the guys in Flite Test in the US, and I said, look, this is an opportunity for us. There's a fairly big community from an RC plane point of view, and I think there's a big opportunity to, especially for lower income people, to get into the hobby, and to make it very accessible and easy for people to get into aviation. Started the negotiation about 3 years ago. We did a lot of tests on local materials, and eventually ended up bringing and importing the material from the US directly that's manufactured there. And now we have the full range available for us to build here in South Africa. So this is typically what one of the airframes look like. It's made out of foam board, and foam board is basically paper sandwiched polystyrene. So it's got polystyrene on the inside and paper layers on both ends. And it's constructed of folding and gluing with normal hot glue or glue gun, gluing the airframe together. It uses very simple things like rubber bands, as you can see, barbecue skewers or society skewers, as we know it in South Africa. A typical airframe like this will take you about 4 hours to build in total, if you use the speed build kits. If you want to do a scratch build, you can also get the foam from us, and then you can basically design your own airframe and plane, and with using the same techniques and same materials, be able to fit and put it together. So this is the Flite Test tutor, and this is a very slow flying plane, and you can start off with a 2-channel, meaning it's only the rear surfaces that can operate at first, and when you get more advanced, you can step up your game and bring in the ailerons as well, with additional channels on your radio. So you can start off with a very slow, easy to fly trainer, and you can build, as you build up your skills, you can advance to a little bit more aerobatics and a little bit more advanced flying. This is an extremely robust plane as well. You can crash this thing like mad, and you can just pick it up and just use some sticky tape and hot glue, and within 5 minutes you're back in the air again. It's super light. This thing weighs about 300 grams as I hold it here. So the chances of damaging it is really little as well, and it's super safe to fly as well compared to the balsa wood type of airplanes. Flite Test have changed the foam that they used. So the brown color is the initial product that they had from the US, and it's basically exactly the same as the white. The only difference is they used brown paper, still the same polystyrene on the inside, but brown paper backing front and back. And they recently changed over to the white paper, which is now water resistant. So that means if you're flying on an airfield where there's quite a lot of dew on the grass, etc., it won't damage the airframes. The white is also much easier to paint. So if you want to do some painting, spray painting, etc., onto the plane, it takes paint extremely well, and you can customize the frame as you want it to be. So we're based in Heidelberg. I've got a setup, a workshop at home where we laser the product. We've got a small little warehouse that we've set up at home as well. There's a website set up, flitetest.co.za, and we have a Flite Test Facebook page as well, Flite Test South Africa on Facebook. If you just search it, you'll find it there. There's an online store where you can place order online. We ship via courier guy throughout the country, and usually it's next day delivery, just depending on where the guys are located at. What the flight test has done is they produce these electronic kits, and inside the kit it contains everything that you need to get you into the air. So it contains all the servos, it contains the motors, so there's the actual motor itself, there's electronic speed control for the motor, there's even some tools inside here with screws and everything that you need to actually assemble a full plane and get it up in the air. One of the nice things about the flight test guys is they've also got the Aura board. Now what an Aura board is, it's basically a stabilization board that you can install into the airplane, and it will auto stabilize the plane for you if you're a beginner. That is an optional extra, so you can add that to the electronics kit as I have it here, and it will make your life so much easier to get into the air. You need a flat table, you need a hot glue gun, you need some packaging tape to stick it all together, and you need a bit of patience, and then off you go. That's all you basically need. The rest of the stuff that you need comes in the pre-made kits that we manufacture. And then you need the electronics, and you can either get that in our store as well, or you can source your own electronics at any hobby shop that will be able to supply you that. In the store we have about 7 or 8 different airframes at the moment, and we're expanding the range every month with an additional 2 or 3 kits. This one, for example, is the Scout. Again, it's also quite easy to fly. It's also a beginner plane, and I actually use this one for quite a bit of training, just because it actually just looks so cool. And you can customize the stuff as you go along. So I've got some 3D printers, and as you can see there, I've added a little Snoopy onto it as a pilot, which really makes it interesting to fly. This one's got full aerobatics capabilities as well, but it's also super docile and very easy to fly. And it makes it really nice in the air to actually track it as you fly it. As I said, multiple different versions of airplanes. We have really fast flyers, really slower flyers, for the more advanced pilots. We have some kits available as well in all sorts of different airframes. And as I said, if a new airframe gets developed by Flight Test, we get it the next day.